Hi guys, welcome to C2C. Today I'll be solving a VARC sectional exam so that you all get to understand how you can fit the strategy in and how you can go about taking the test yourself. Um, I hope your prep is going well and all the best for the D-Day, and let's get into it directly. Yes. So I'll not be speaking much during the test because I am focused on giving it today. So there you have it. There you can see the time also. So we have 1 to 5 questions. Okay, 1 to 5. We have 5 Qs. Objective question. Okay, economics it seems has very little to tell us about the current economic crisis. Indeed, no less applicable than former U.S. Federal Reserve Chairman. Recent what is the recent events? Okay, economics and recently what happened? Black swan event, maybe that's what they are trying to drive across. Following is not an example of asymmetric information. One is objective, which are the following likely the title of the passage, not really. How does the author's attitude towards this point of discussion change from the first paragraph to the last paragraph? Third is definitely not. Could be the example of momentum from author's point of view, no. And we drawn from the passage only one. So this is relatively a difficult set. Let's go to the next one. So we are at sixth. Okay, Milky Way, Andromeda Galaxy are binary system of giant spiral galaxies. It's a reported heretofore unexplained warp in the disk of Milky Way. Okay, so this is about space, and there are how many? How many questions are there? Okay, let's go up. There are 6 to 9, so there are 4 questions over here. 4 questions. Okay, following are true. Sixth is objective. So the following has been predicted by Martin Weinberg's model. 8, 6, 7 is true. To as per the passage except no. Counter the movement of these two galaxies, clear the meaning of wake is okay 6, 7, 9. I could say 6, 7, and 9. Okay, Milky Way 6, 7, 9. Okay, so there we have it 10. Okay, 10 to 13. 13, and we have 4 questions. Okay. Cycling has saved me so much time and money. I feel okay. Cycling also allows cycling. So this one is about cycling. It's about fun activity. Yeah. Which of the following not benefit of the cycling cycle? Okay. From the passage say about the author, no. 10th, maybe. Admittedly, cycling in snow is next to impossible. Okay. A cycle in the snow, cycling has some challenge. Okay. 12th also. 10th, 12th. Which also weakens the position. Okay, 10th and 12th are the only ones, but this is a relatively easier set, 10th and 12th. And I think it's also okay, there it is. And 9th. Okay, this one's a little smaller. Okay, so this set is relatively smaller. S. Okay, uh-huh, there you have it, 10th and 12th, this one, nothing else over there. And okay, so we have 14 to 21, 3, 7, 9. 3, 7, 8. Okay, there are 8 of these, so 14. I'll just write this over here. Summary OOOPJ. Okay, perfect. So for summary, what I'll do is get all the summary. 15 भी नहीं है. Okay, 15 है. 15, 15, 17, 15, 17, 19, 15, 17, 19, 21. 15, 17, 19, 21. ठीक है, there you go. And 17. Okay, let's look at 16. Again, the following it is correct. Okay, this is 16 pj, 16 pj, 18 pj, and 20 is OOO. 20 is OOO. 16, 18, 19, 20, 21. Okay, there you go. That's okay. So among this, cycling one actually was a little longer. This one is the shorter one. So, but I'll still start with this because it is going to be an relatively easier set to read. Then I'll go with this one because there are relatively more, what do you call it, objective questions over there. And then I'll take this one, even though there are, say, 5 questions over there. Before four, I'm going to be taking first. So 10 to this one. Okay, let's start. So this exercise almost took only 5 minutes for me. Cycling has saved me so much time and money. I failed my driving test age 17 and then never got around to taking it again. I want a car and experience all the hassle that come with one. But with the help of trains, I go anywhere I like. And in London to multiple events in a single evening. That is the odd, fairly small repair cost, but it would be well cost me hundreds, if not thousands, you have to use the tube. Also allows time to see so much more than other forms of transport on recent holiday in Devon. I stopped to look at some beautiful houses along the country road. Smell the warm of the aroma while the early evening June glow caught their shiny mains. Later that evening, I mentioned to a friend who lives locally and who had driven along the route hundreds of times but had never noticed there were stables at the end of the road. So just right over the speed of a bike allows you to cover so much more than ground when walking. See so much more than a car on the same ride as spotted an owl rabbit in the grass. You would frighten them off with the roaring of an engine or him. Okay, into roadkill. Last year I took part in charity bike ride from John the Stones. 1,000 miles is just 9 days, fantastic, but just undeniably tough at times. But one of the things that amazed me was how fit and healthy some of the older cyclists were. The man in the front was at least 50, tearing up road at tremendous speeds and leaving other gasping at. One of the other riders was over 70, cycling an activity you can keep improving at even when past the conventional sporting peak of your late 20s. So in that respect, it seems to be thing or mind improving with age. I sometimes do other forms of exercise, a bit of running, swimming, but many of my friends who have played a lot of pro activities more than me have completely worn their knees out. But cycling's low impact seems to only strengthen these, and I feel that mine will last longer than thanks to lifetime in the saddle when on the challenging trip or even in the city. Culture of friendliness and mutual support, especially when you have puncture or other breakdown, continues to surprise me. What other activities seem to inspire such camaraderie among strangers? Must have, okay. Yes, but even they can have solutions. Admittedly, cycling in snow is next to impossible and or heavy rain unpleasant, but improvement in breathable waterproof clothing make that much more okay. Improvements in breathable waterproof clothing make that much more bearable and doesn't stop my daily commute. And hills, they get so much easier with practice like anything else. I've grown to love going uphill, perhaps as much as down. I can climb a long hill near Tokyo and the one with the birds singing and the wind whistling through the trees. It is tranquil and very satisfying. This is not mentioned as a benefit of using the cycle lets you explore more than other forms of transport. That's not true. Cost effective, yes, encourages a competitive spirit, is a good form of exercise. Competitive spirit, I don't know. Lets you explore more than other forms of transport. That's not true. Okay, like that way, it could be. Cycling is cost effective. Yeah, that is already covered. Encourages competitive spirit. I don't think so. That's covered. From the passage, what can you say about the author? He is a sports journalist, novice cyclist, bike aficionado, admirer of adventure, bike aficionado. No, I think he's a novice cyclist because saddle pay he has spent some time and he says that his knee health is good. Admittedly, cycling with snow is next to impossible. Author has cycled in snow. Cycling has some challenges. Okay, what can you assume from the above? The author is fond of cycling. I think this you can assume that the author has cycled in snow, right? And that's why, admittedly, cycling is next snow is next to impossible. So is cycle in snow. Following weakens the position of the author. Cycling is a value for money investment. No, A doesn't. So this and this goes away. B or C or only C. So let's check for B. In commuting, cycling comes second only to walking. Weakens commuting cycling comes second only to walking. B, cycles cause as many accidents as cars. There you go. B and C both. Yeah. So this is done. Let's look at the next set, which is 6 to 9. Okay, there you go. So the Milky Way and the Andromeda Galaxy are a binary system of giant spiral galaxies belonging to a group of 50 closely bound galaxies known as local group, itself being part of Virgo supercluster. Two smaller galaxies and a number of dwarf galaxies in the local group orbit. Two smaller galaxies and a number of dwarf galaxies in the local group orbit in the Milky Way. The largest of these is the Large Magellanic Cloud with a diameter of 20,000 light years. It has a close companion. Okay, the largest of these is a Large Magellanic Cloud with a diameter of 20,000 light years. It has a close companion, the Small Magellanic Cloud. The Magellanic Stream is a peculiar streamer, neutral hydrogen gas connecting these two small galaxies. Stream is thought to have been dragged from Magellanic Cloud in tidal interactions. Okay, here are some of the dwarf galaxies orbiting the Milky Way. This passage is a little difficult to read, by the way. Orbiting the Milky Way are Canis Major dwarf, the closest, Sagittarius dwarf elliptical. Just as the smallest Milky Way dwarf galaxies are only 500 light years in diameter. They include this. There are many. There may still be undetected dwarf which are dynamically bound to the Milky Way. There's some that have already been absorbed by the Milky Way, such as Omega Centauri. Observations through the zone of avoidance are frequently detecting new distant and nearby galaxies. Some galaxies consisting mostly of gas and dust may also have evaded detection. So far in Jan 2006, researchers reported that the heretofore unexplained warp in the disk of Milky Way has now been mapped and found to be ripple or vibration set up by the large and light clouds as they circle the galaxy. Vibration at certain frequencies when they pass through its edges. Especially these two galaxies at around 2% of the mass of the Milky Way were considered too small to influence the Milky Way. Taking into account dark matter, the movement of these two creates a wake that influences the larger Milky Way. Taking dark matter into account results in an approximately 20-fold increase in mass for the galaxy. Taking dark matter into account results in an approximately 20-fold increase in mass for the galaxy, is according to a computer model made by Martin Weinberg of University of Massachusetts Amherst. In this model, the dark matter is spreading out from the galactic disk. Okay, this calculation according to a computer model made by this. As a result, the model predicts that gravitational effect of mag is amplified as it passes through galaxy. Current measurement suggests that Andromeda Galaxy is approaching us at 100 to 140 kilometers per second. Milky Way may collide with 3 to 4 billion years, depending on the importance of unknown lateral components to the galaxy's relative motion. If they collide, individual stars within the galaxy would not collide, but instead will merge to form a single elliptical galaxy over the course of about a billion years. Falling out to Andromeda Galaxy orbits the Milky Way. The Milky Way and Andromeda Galaxy are a binary system of giant spiral galaxies belonging to a group of very closely bound orbits the Milky Way. One might not be the truth, right? Magellanic Cloud is the largest dwarf galaxy. Galaxy number, okay. Another of these is large Magellanic Cloud. Yeah, yeah. So Magellanic is largest dwarf galaxy. Yes, smaller galaxy number of dwarf galaxies. Okay. So two is true. Okay. So two is true. This has to be there. So it has to be either four or three. We'll have to check then. Four also has to be. Ursa Minor dwarf is a part of Virgo supercluster. Omega Centauri has been absorbed by the Milky Way. 2 and 4 are true. So 4 is नहीं है, so that's why this goes away. This is true. Fourth is true. 2 भी true होना चाहिए. So I'll go with this. Yeah. So the following has been predicted by Martin Weinberg's model. Yeah. The effect of magnetic cloud is amplified as it passes through the galaxy. No, no, no. Yeah, the dark matter is spreading out from galactic disk with the known gas layer. Calculation according to computer model made by this model the dark matter is spreading out of the galactic disk with the known gas layer. Galactic disk with the known gas layer. Yeah, this one, right. The effector is amplified as they pass. The gravity effector is amplified. Falling has been in this model gravity is spreading out. The ये भी तो है, so this also is there, this also is there. That's why which all has been predicted. Okay, Andromeda Galaxy reaching us in a by taking into account the movement of two galaxies creates a wave that influences larger Milky Way. I think this should be the one, right? So this is what he predicted. This is based on this calculation is according to a computer model made by Weinberg, and in this model, the dark matter is spreading out of galaxy. This is not what he predicted. This is the shape of the model, so that's why that doesn't come. The model predicts, and that is okay. Has been predicted by model. Where the gravitation effect is amplified. Effect is amplified as it passes through the galaxy. Yeah, job. Good. That should be it then. 6 to 9. Okay, 7. Okay, all of the following are true as per the passage except the stream contains the large and small Magellanic clouds. The Milky Way and Andromeda will merge in future. That is true. All the galaxies around us are not known. That is also true. Local group consists of some 50 galaxies belonging to a group of as a binary as a local group consists of some 50 50 closely bound galaxies known as the local itself being part of Virgo. Okay, so maybe this is not true. The Magellanic contains large and small. Okay, Magellanic stream is a peculiar stream of neural. Okay, have been dragged from Magellanic cloud. Okay, dragged from Magellanic cloud. Yeah. Okay, so this might not be true. This is true. Will merge in future. Yeah, depending on the importance of unknown. Okay, current measurements suggest that Andromeda, true, may collide, will merge बोला है. So this also becomes a little large and okay. Streamer में तो सही है ना यहाँ पे. Peculiar streamer of neutral gas connecting these two galaxies. The stream is thought to have been dragged from Magellanic clouds in tidal. Okay, yeah, that's why. So this becomes a little difficult. So that's why I'll mark for review. I'll mark the answer. My answer for this will be the Magellanic cloud wall answer. Uh, hmm. Context. Now, see the thing with this is in this they have said Milky Way and Andromeda galaxy might or may. The same can be extended to this one. The stream is thought to have been dragged from Magellanic clouds, right? So that's why I'm not too sure because both the same could be applied over there. All the galaxies around us are not known, which is true. Which is true. All the galaxies are not known. We have not detected them. Local group consists of some 50 galaxies. Yeah, that's there. That's why. In the context, the movement of these two galaxies creates a wake that influences the meaning of wake. Is the movement of these two galaxies creates a wake. Okay, the track left by as a consequence of the state of wake. Okay, by taking into the movement of these two galaxies creates a wake that influences the larger Milky Way. Being awake, aftermath, the Ketuga creates a wake as a consequence. These two galaxies, the meaning of wake that influences creates as a consequence of. It's a little tricky, and also I'm going to mark this for review too. I'm not going to take my risk over here. Let's go. The rest of the RC. Economics. It seems has very little to tell us about current economic crisis. Indeed, no less a figure than former U.S. Federal Reserve Chairman Alan Greenspan recently confessed that his entire intellectual edifice had been demolished by recent events, scratched around the rubble. However, and one can come up with useful fragments. One of them is called asymmetric information. This means that some people know more about some things than other people. Not a very startling insight, perhaps, but applied to buyers and seller. Suppose the seller of a product knows more about its quality than the buyer, as a vice versa. Interesting things happen. So interesting that the inventor's idea received Nobel Prize in economics. Wow, George Ekelov published a famous paper, The Market for Lemons. His main example was a used car market. The buyer doesn't know whether what is being offered is a good car or a lemon. His best guess is that it is a car of average quality for which he'll pay only the average price because the owner won't be able to get a good price for a good car. He won't place good cars on the market. Where did it go? And I won't be able to get it. Yeah, so the average quality of used car offered uh, go down the lemon squeeze. Lemon squeeze out the oranges. Another well-known example concerns insurance. This time, who knows more than the seller? Since the buyer knows his risk behavior, physical health, and so on, the insurer faces adverse selection because he cannot distinguish between good and bad risk. Okay, right. He therefore sets an average premium too high for healthy contributors and too low for unhealthy ones. So yeah, this will drive out the healthy contributors, saddling the insurer with portfolio of bad risks, a quick road to bankruptcy. There are various ways to equalize the information available. For example, warranties for used cars and medical certificates for insurance. Warranties for used car. Okay, but since these devices cost money, asymmetric information always leads to worse result than otherwise occur. Okay, all of this is relevant to financial market because the efficient market hypothesis, the dominant paradigm in finance, assumes that everyone has perfect information, therefore that all prices express the real value of goods for sale. Any professional will tell you that some know more than others and they earn more too. Information is key, but just as in used car and insurance market, asymmetric information in finance leads to a trouble. Okay, a typical adverse selection problem arises when banks can't tell the difference between good and bad investment. Okay, used car. This is insurance market asymmetric information in finance leads to trouble. Typical adverse selection problem arises when banks can't tell the difference between good and bad investment situation analogous to the insurance market. The borrower knows the risk is high but tells the lender it is low. The lender who can judge the risk goes for investment. The promise high yield and just this particular predicts that banks will over-invest in high-risk, high-yield projects. Asymmetric information, toxic loans, on the credit market, other models. Principal agent behavior to explain momentum in financial markets. Although designed before the current crisis, these models seem to fit current observation rather well. Banks lending to entrepreneurs who could never repay and asset prices changing even if there were no changes in condition. But a moment's thought will show why these models cannot explain today's general crisis. They rely on someone getting the better of someone else. They rely on someone getting the better, someone else the better informed gain at least in the short term at the expense of the worse informed. They are nature of swindles. So these models cannot explain a situation in which everyone or almost everyone is losing or for matter. And at the same time, the theorists of asymmetric information occupy a deviant branch of mainstream economics. They agree with the mainstream that there is perfect information available somewhere out there, including perfect knowledge about how the different parts of the economy fit together. They differ only in believing that not everyone possesses it. Mhm. In Ecolov's example, the problem with selling a used car at an efficient price is not no one knows how likely it is to break down, but rather the seller knows perfectly well how likely to break down, the buyer does not. Yet the true problem is that in the real world, no one is perfectly informed. Those who have better information try to deceive those who have worse, but they are deceiving themselves and they know more than they do. If only one person were perfectly informed, there could never be a crisis. Someone always makes the right call at the right time, but only God is perfect. He does not play the stock market. The outstanding fact John Maynard Keynes wrote in his general theory of employment interest in money is the extreme precariousness of pieces of knowledge which are estimates of prospective yield have to be made. No perfect knowledge out there about the correct value of assets because there is no way we can tell what the future will be like. And dealing with asymmetry, we are dealing with different degrees of no information. Herd behavior arises, Keynes thought, not from attempts to deceive, but from the fact that in the face of unknown we seek safety in numbers. Economics, in other words, must start from premise of imperfect rather than perfect knowledge. May then get nearer to explaining why we are where we are today. Okay, fair. Good article, but difficult. Which are the following not an example of asymmetric information. Peter Priya both know about the secret hiding place where mom has stored the cookies, has hidden. Well, Priya also knows where mom has hidden the cookies, but she does not know where she has hidden the cake. Okay, also knows where Mom has started to also know where mom has hidden the cookies, but this doesn't make sense. The sentence Peter Priya both know about the secret hiding place, but Priya knows where the cookies have been hidden. Have been hidden. Peter knows. Okay, both know secret hiding place. Peter knows where the cake has been hidden. Asymmetric information. That is an asymmetric information. Okay, Peter, Priya know about secret hiding place where the cookies and cakes are stored. But mom is smarter, so she moves the cookies and cake to a new hiding place unknown to Peter and Priya. Okay, not an example of asymmetric information. Peter and Priya both know about the hiding place of cakes and cookies. Mom has stored them at this special place to keep them hidden. Stored them at this special place to keep them hidden from Peter and Priya. Hmm. Moves the cookies and cakes to a new hiding place unknown to Peter and Priya. Asymmetric नहीं होगा फिर because she is also anticipating, maybe that's why, right? In a special place. So the following is likely to be titled Perfect Swindlers, Perfect Losers, Perfect Winners, Perfect Information. I don't know why first came into picture over here. Perfect Information should be the one because it talks about, basically encompasses all of it. How does the author's attitude towards his point of discussion change from first paragraph to last paragraph? Pessimistic to optimistic, to possible solution and true problem. Problem, possible solution, and then the true problem. What the true problem is. Understanding the problem to the real problems is people somewhere out there including the perfect knowledge. Okay, cliche to original. Okay. Is the so I'm confused between this and this. It's not pessimistic. Okay, pessimistic to optimistic to nahi hai. You know what? I'm not going to risk it for this. So clear response. Understanding the problem to real problems. Mark for review next. Which of the following could be an example of momentum from the author's point of view? Classic case of herd behavior where lender can't judge the risk goes for investors that promise. Yeah, there was momentum, I remember. Yeah. Hmm. Other models use principal input to be herd behavior. From author's point of view, classic case of asset prices changing even if there were no changes in condition. Yeah, this could be when banks can't tell the difference between good and bad and with that cascades the momentum. No. Lend to entrepreneurs who cannot pay. No. I think this is. Which of the following statements can be drawn from the passage? The passage the author tries to explain why U.S. Allen, the entire intellectual edifice got no, can explain why the current economic crisis has happened. Then okay, can better explain no. It can be drawn from the passage. Allen and Greenspan and author are talking about the same economic crisis, and they both think of similar lines as to no. Perspective on economic crisis is different from the authors in terms of how it happened. That's also not true. Maybe yeah, that's why. I think this is it. Author can better explain why the current economic crisis happened than Greenspan, right? Because he can't understand that. So yeah, I'll take this risk. Eighth is also fine. I have 12 minutes, almost 13 minutes, and I have what 8 questions to go with. I'm going to take this risk and not going to take these two risks. So out of 13 questions, I have answered 11. And let's see. So what is the order? 15, 17, 19, 21. So let's go for 15. Okay, the UN has high hopes of combating racial intolerance and violence it causes with giant talk fests. One such gathering, oh, okay, has high hopes of combating racial intolerance and violence it causes. Okay, with giant talk fest. One such gathering, a World Conference Against Racism, took place in Durban 2009 for a follow-up to be held in Geneva next April. Are in trouble. Israel have left the process. Several others, all in the West, are threatening to do so unless the new meeting avoids the anti-Israel excesses which in their view marred the first one. Okay, several Western countries are threatening to leave the World Conference on Racism unless the meeting avoids perceived anti-Israel excesses for which Israel and Canada have left the process. Did Canada leave? Okay. Mm-hmm. Conference on Racism Geneva will be boycotted by several countries, including Israel, Canada, owing to the anti-Israel excesses and had marked the first one in Durban. Racism Geneva next April by several countries, including Israel, owing to anti-Israel excesses. How is that? Yeah, no. Including Israel, Canada threatening to leave. No. It has to be this. These are threatening to leave the world, avoid the perceived anti. Okay. Boycott several countries, including you, to mount the first conference. Okay. Hmm. What do I think of this? I am very confused between this one and this one. They cover something different, right? And both are important. Okay. Uh, I'm not going to take. I'll clear the response for this because it's my marked रहेगा. So let's go on to 17th. Let's. So 15th go. I'm marked for review. 17th I'm going on. Animal survival is dependent on knowing the important properties of environment. Without such knowledge, we would not be here. But where does this knowledge come from? How is it represented within us? This is the eternal fundamental question in cognitive psychology, which has been discussed throughout the ages. There are two approaches to this problem. The first, known as empiricism, claims that knowledge comes from experience. On the contrary, nativist, also known as rationalism, inspired by rational philosophers, suggests that knowledge is based on innate characteristics of the brain. Okay. Psychology approaches the problem of known through either empiricism or nativism. Discuss the fundamental question of the origin and nature of knowledge. Empiricism and nativism are two approaches to solve the problems of origin and nature of knowledge are fundamental to cognitive, hmm, which has been how is it represented within us? Problems of the origin and nature of knowledge are fundamental to cognitive psycho. Empiricism solve these problems differently. Right. Two approaches solve this problem. Discuss the problem of origin and nature and all fundamental cognitive approach this problem differently. Approach the problem differently. Yeah, is fundamental cognitive psychology. Yeah, this makes a lot more. 17. We'll go on to 19. We have less time though. Publication of satire in the Restoration period was done anonymously. There were great dangers in being associated with the satire. On one hand, defamation law was a wide net, and it was difficult for satirists to avoid prosecution if he were uh, to okay proven to have written a piece that seemed criticized and noble. On the other hand, wealthy individuals would respond to satire as often as not by having the suspected poet physically attacked by ruffians. Consequence of this anonymity is that a great many poems, some of them of merit, are published and largely unknown. Hmm. During Restoration period, nobles sought to find satire authors to prosecute them, and leading to authors working in anonymity. Though not the most brilliant read, was no anonymity was call of the day for people with the writing or publishing of a satire. Anonymity was the only option to open writers and publishers of satire due to dangers resulting in many poems being unknown. Yeah, I think that succinctly puts it all together. I like that answer. 1921. Let's look at 21. People definitely will watch advertisement for information. Broad terms, this is noticed from the major successes that present what is called as latest news concerning a product. If an advertiser tells people something relevant and new about a brand, the ad is studied in detail by the consumers. In particular, there are product categories like financial services and durable that require a greater understanding of consumers so they can sensible choice. As products like financial durables require a greater understanding of consumer, people study these ads in detail so they can make a. It's a matter of detail if they are latest in telling something new or relevant about a particular success. If they tell people something new or relevant about a product as much for information. For information and study then we represent people something relevant and new about a brand. Hmm. Not marking this. Yeah. This was a little tricky for me, or maybe I'm just rusty with respect to VA. But regardless, I'm enjoying this, right? For pick out the sentence and does not fit this with the sequence. For many thousands of years, the English Channel has been an effective barrier across which migration has been a risky business. But grand rumors had the English Channel has been an effective barrier across which migration has been a risky fraud. But grand rumors has begun to do the rounds about uh, okay things are found on the island, which was why I received a visit that day from scientists from London University, one of the real entomologists. Many of the butterflies that nevertheless did succeed in crossing found it hard to become established, partly because of the weather in so rarely. Number of that did succeed. Okay, many of the butterflies. Okay, many thousands of English have been barrier across which migration has been a risky business. Rumors had begun to do round about all the things that found on the island, which was why I received a visit. Okay, butterflies. Okay, had to become established partly because of the weather is so rarely like that or Riviera. It rains. Okay, number of species that did succeed. Mm-hmm. This is a result of size of human population. The fact that British set about in nature rather than earlier than most other people. Okay, this is a little tricky, but since it's Tita, so I'll shoot my shot. What should it be? I think two. I'll take two. Yeah, that's my shot. I think it's a good risk that I've taken, and only two questions are left 16 and 18. So let's try it. Is one that can be acquired independently of but need not involve its being in it, which while the acquisition of an a posteriori concept requires experience. Correspondingly, as a posteriori proposition is knowable, a posteriori A posterior process knowable, a posteriori, while and is one the premise of which are a posteriori proposition, and a priori proposition is one that okay things other than ways of knowing, for instance, to proposition and argument. Hmm. It has also been applied to concepts. Okay. I know the arrangement. So it will start with this proposition and argument, and then it goes to third, then it goes to two, yeah, correspondingly. There you go. Then it goes to five, and then it goes to one. This is relatively much easier. Yay, correct. And then final will come to this. Okay. Yet she appeared confident in innocence and did not tremble, although gazed on and execrated by thousands for all the kindness which her beauty might. Okay, tears seemed to dim her eye. She was dressed in mounting. She was tranquil when she entered the court. She threw her eyes round it and quickly discovered where we were seated. Trial began, and after the advocate against her had stated the charge, several witnesses were called. Innocent, okay, seemed to dim her, okay, seemed to at least attest her utter guiltlessness. Tears seemed to dim her eye when she saw us, but okay, okay, five के बाद we can say two, yeah. Her utter and look of sorrowful affection seemed to attest her utter guiltlessness. She was dressed in mourning, and her countenance, always engaging, was rendered by the sonitor feelings. She was tranquil, yet her tranquil was evidently concealed, and as the confession had before been proof of her guilt, she worked up her mind to okay, 52314. I'll go with. Oh, the trial began, and after the arrow against her had stated the charge, several witnesses were called. Maybe six. 52314. It's a long one. 52314. There you go. 7 next. So we have left 1, 2, 3, and 4. 5 questions we have not touched because we were very skeptical. There you go. So 1 to 14. Did we even read 14? 14 was marked in red, so I'm not too sure. 15 we have answered. 2 we did not answer. 4 we marked for review. Right? Let's see. Anyway, guys, that's my end. I always keep forgetting that I'm actually recording a video. So I hope you took something or the away from the from this. And this is also you need to keep in mind that I'm not used to it right now, right? So if there are any mistakes from my end, then I do apologize. But with respect to RC, I was pretty comfortable. The VA is a little rusty, and I hope there are some insights to be taken with respect to how I'm approaching the paper right now. Thank you so much, and all the best for your paper.